Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, chapter 14 today. So please follow along with text as I read. Remember, it's a good skill for you to look at the words and listen to how they're being pronounced and to practice your own reading skills in your head. So, without further ado, let us begin. Chapter 14, Mr. Willy Wonka. Mr. Wonka was standing all alone just inside the open gates of the factory. And what an extraordinary little man he was. He had a black top hat on his head. He wore a tail coat made of a beautiful plum-colored velvet. Plum-colored velvet. His trousers were bottle green. His gloves were pearly gray. And in one hand, he carried a fine gold-topped walking cane. Covering his chin, there was a small, neat, pointed black beard, a goatee. And his eyes were most marvelously bright. They seemed to be sparkling and twinkling at you all the time. The whole face, in fact, was alight with fun and laughter. And oh, how clever he looked! How quick and sharp and full of life! He kept making quick, jerky little movements with his head, cocking it this way and that, and taking everything in with those bright, twinkling eyes. He was like a squirrel in the quickness of his movements, like a quick, clever old squirrel from the park. Suddenly, he did a funny little skipping dance in the snow, and he spread his arms wide and smiled at the 5 children who were clustered near the gates, and he called out, "Welcome, my little friends! Welcome to the factory!" His voice was high and fluty. "Will you come forward one at a time, please?" he called out. "And bring your parents. Then show me their golden tickets and give me your name. Who's first?" The fat boy stepped up. "I'm Augustus Gloop," he said. "Augustus!" cried Mr. Wonka, seizing his hand and pumping up and down with terrific force. "My dear boy, how good to see you! Delighted, charmed, overjoyed to have you with us. And these are your parents? How nice! Come in, come in! That's right, step through the gates." Mr. Wonka was clearly just as excited as everybody else. "My name," said the next child to go forward, "is Veruca Salt." "My dear Veruca, how do you do? What a pleasure this is. You do have an interesting name, don't you? I always thought that a verruca was a sort of wart you got on the sole of your foot. But I must be wrong, mustn't I? How pretty you look in that lovely mink coat. I'm so glad you could come. Dear me, this is going to be such an exciting day. I do hope you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you will. I know you will. Your father, how are you? Mr. Salt and Mrs. Salt, overjoyed to see you. Yes, the ticket is quite in order. Please go in." The next 2 children, Violet Beauregard and Mike TV, came forward to have their tickets examined, and then to have their arms practically pumped off their shoulders by the energetic Mr. Wonka. And last of all, a small, nervous voice whispered, "Charlie Bucket." "Charlie!" cried Mr. Wonka. "Well, well, well! So there you are. You're the one who found your golden ticket only yesterday, aren't you? Yes, yes, I read all about it in this morning's papers. Just in time, my dear boy. I'm so glad, so happy for you. And this, your grandfather? Delighted to meet you, sir. Overjoyed, enraptured, enchanted. All right. Excellent. Is everybody in now? 5 children? Yes? Good? Now, will you please follow me? Our tour is about to begin. But do keep together. Please don't wander off by yourselves. I shouldn't like to lose any of you at this stage of the proceedings. Oh, dear me. No. Charlie glanced back over his shoulder and saw the great iron entrance gates slowly closing behind him. The crowds on the outside were still pushing and shouting. Charlie took a last look at them. Then, as the gates closed with a clang, all sight of the outside world disappeared. "Here we are!" cried Mr. Wonka, trotting along in front of the group. "Through the big red door, please. That's right. It's nice and warm inside. I have to keep it warm inside the factory because of the workers. My workers are used to an extremely hot climate. They can't stand the cold. They'd perish if they went outdoors in this weather. They'd freeze to death." "But who are your workers?" asked Augustus Gloop. "All in good time, my dear boy," said Mr. Wonka, smiling at Augustus. "Be patient. You shall see everything as we go along. Are all of you inside? Good. Would you mind closing the door? Thank you." Charlie Bucket found himself standing in a long corridor that stretched away in front of him as far as he could see. The corridor was so wide that a car could easily have been driven along it. The walls were pale pink. The lighting was soft and pleasant. "How lovely and warm," whispered Charlie. "I know, and what a marvelous smell," answered Grandpa Joe, taking a long, deep sniff. All the most wonderful smells in the world seemed to be mixing up in the air around them. The smell of roasting coffee and burnt sugar and melting chocolate and mint and violets and crushed hazelnuts and apple blossom, caramel, lemon peel. And far away in the distance, from the heart of the great factory, came a muffled roar of energy, as though some monstrous, gigantic machine were spinning its wheels at breakneck speed. "Now this, my dear children," said Mr. Wonka, raising his voice above the noise, "this is the main corridor. Will you please hang your coats and hats on those pegs over there, and then follow me? That's the way. Good. Everyone ready? Come on, then. Here we go." He trotted off rapidly down the corridor with the tails of his plum-colored velvet coat flapping behind him, and the visitors all hurried after him. It was a large party of people, when you came to think of it. There were 9 grown-ups and 5 children, 14 in all. So you can imagine that there was a good deal of pushing and shoving as they hustled and bustled down the passage, trying to keep up with the swift little figure in front of them. "Come on!" cried Mr. Wonka. "Get a move on, please. We'll never get round today if you dawdle like this." Soon he turned right off the main corridor into another slightly narrower passage. Then he turned left, then left again, then left, then right, then right, then left. The place was like a gigantic rabbit warren, with passages leading this way and that in every direction. "Don't let go my hand, Charlie," whispered Grandpa Joe. "Notice how all these passages are sloping downward," cried out Mr. Wonka. "Now we are going underground. All the most important rooms in my factory are deep down below the surface." "Why is that?" somebody asked. "There wouldn't nearly be enough space for them up on top," answered Mr. Wonka. These rooms we are going to see are enormous. They're larger than football fields. No building in the world would be big enough to house them. But down here, underneath the ground, I've got all the space I want. There's no limit, so long as I hollow it out." Mr. Wonka turned right. He turned left. He turned left again. The passages were sloping steeper and steeper downhill now. Then suddenly, Mr. Wonka stopped. In front of him, there was a shiny metal door. The party crowded around. On the door, in large letters, it said, "The Chocolate Room." Oh my goodness! What a guy Mr. Wonka is. Okay, so let's talk for a minute here about Mr. Wonka. So, Augustus, Violet, Veruca, Mike, and Charlie are meeting Willy Wonka and are going to go into his chocolate factory. It's very exciting. A goatee on Mr. Wonka. This is what we call a goatee. And this is a goat. And the goat has a similar beard. So we get the name goatee from a goat. And it's a goatee. So he's got a goatee on his chin. Mr. Wonka, seizing his hand and pumping it up and down, is a very firm, hard handshake. And it says so much they thought their shoulders would shake off. So he's, oh, happy to meet you, happy to meet you. Now look at this. The girl's name is Veruca, but these things, oh, they're so gross, are called Veruca, right? Double R. So Mr. Wonka is playing a trick on her, saying, your name sounds an awful lot like this disgusting wart. Now, I think that the author, Roald Dahl, is doing this on purpose. He came up with this name because he knew of this thing, and he's like, she's a rotten little girl. Let's give her a rotten little name. It's so gross. I don't want to look at it anymore. All right. Look at these words that describe Mr. Wonka. Overjoyed, enraptured, enchanted, all right, excellent. What kind of man is Mr. Wonka? How would you describe him? Overjoyed means so much joy, it's spilling out. Enraptured is perfect happiness. Enchanted is like magical happiness. Excellent is perfect goodness. Mr. Wonka is a very happy, joyful, excited man. You can just hear it. He's just like bubbling with joy. So, what kind of man is Mr. Wonka? He's excited and happy. And how do I know? By the words that are used to describe him. All right, a corridor is a long hallway, and so they are all walking down the corridor. Excuse me. How rude. Excuse me again. All right, a swift little figure. The word figure is another word for person. Apologies. All right. A swift little figure is another word for a person. So he's kind of a small man, and he's swift. He's fast. He's moving around all the time. Pew, 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 pew. Come on, happy, happy. Come on, let's go, happy. All right. And then he says, don't dawdle, which is funny because he's such a fast, excited man that everybody else is like, compared to him. And you got this picture of this cat trying to go on a walk. Don't dawdle. Say it with me. Dawdle. Dawdle. Okay. It means to take your time or go slow. Da-do, 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 da-do. Okay. On page 67, it says that they turn left. Left again. Right, left, right, right, left. And then later on it says they turn right, left, right again. It's like a rabbit warren. And a rabbit warren is a home underground where the rabbits live. And so Mr. Wonka's factory is similar to where rabbits would live, where you can go left, right, left, down, up, down, down, all over the place. So that's a description to help us understand where they're going. Okay, I think that's it for that. I hope you enjoyed meeting Mr. Wonka, and the chocolate room is coming up. Who loves chocolate? I love chocolate. Do you love chocolate? All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.